It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hello, I'm Mike Kerner for the Forum. In this week for Gary Shorman, and our guest this week is Sarah Meitner. The Forum brought to you by Hayes Med. And Sarah is with us today. You're a board member at the ARC, but today you're in here to talk to us a little bit about the Hayes Accessible Park. And you know, we've seen that in the news lately. In fact, you guys even gave a presentation to the city commissioners just recently. But first off, before we get into all the details of this park, because it's kind of cool, but tell us a little bit about yourself and how you became involved in this whole project.
Sure. Again, my name is Sarah Meitner. I live here in Hayes with my husband and our 5 kids. Our youngest son, Abe, has Down syndrome, and he he's a really cool kid, just really funny, smart, bright, but he does have some muscle issues with holding his body up and things. So an issue that's been sort of important to me and one that I felt like we needed to pursue further was to figure out a safe way for him to play. I'm a board member at the ARC, and the people down there do amazing things for our Special Olympic athletes in town and just individuals with disabilities and the programs that they offer. So this was a real natural fit for a collaborative project. I was over there one day talking about, I'd really like to have a playground in town, someplace where Abe can swing. He's too big for the toddler swings. He's over 40 pounds. He doesn't fit in them anymore, but he doesn't have the muscle strength to just hold himself up on a regular swing and really swing.
Now, after you got this started, have you heard from other parents? And it was all of a sudden this starts mushrooming?
Yes. I mean, just the response has been overwhelming, both at the ARC and to us personally. We've heard from families whose kids have any number of disabilities. Cochlear implants, static slides can interfere with cochlear implants or other hearing aids. Kids on the autism spectrum, they play differently. They like cozy places, sensory input. We've just learned so much about ways that you can build a park that can really meet the needs of kids of all abilities and all ages, because there's also a lot of older individuals who cognitively still want to play. So they need a facility that can, accommodate an adult-sized body as well. I mean, that's something else that we've had to consider, and to really try to think through all of the ways that we can make an inclusive park that would, meet the needs of the most people. And, we sort of started off as just a park, and in our discussions, in my discussions with Kathy McAdoo and Brent Kaiser over at the ARC of Central Plains, I found out that they really needed a baseball field as well. We launched, I don't know if you know this, but here in Hayes we launched a softball and t-ball team. We're heading into our 2nd season. The fall is when they do those seasons. And so, last year he started the team, but it wasn't open to every athlete to play because they're playing on gravel fields. So an individual in a wheelchair or a walker, or just with a gait that's a little bit uneasy or unsteady, couldn't participate. And so that was a real barrier to being open to all of the athletes who wanted to play.
Well, I remember about 5 years ago, we had a kid that was with us that was trying to do the same thing, and they were trying to get that stuff going, the baseball, softball kind of thing, and they had trouble on the gravel fields too. So I see where you're going.
What
we've
decided is a turf field. So it'll be a real short turf field that our Special Olympics athletes can all access, but then it's also still available to the city it's just another field, another youth field that a coach pitch team or t-ball team can play on as well. So that's really how it mushroomed. We started getting excited the more that we talked and met with the city and started dreaming about what we might be able to do, and added a splash pad along the way, because a splash pad is just innately accessible. I mean, kids in a wheelchair or who maybe need an extra set of hands on them if they're in a swimming pool can safely play on a splash pad when there's no risk of drowning. So it was a natural fit. Hayes certainly needs one, and so we really explored a recirculated water filtration system for a splash pad that will meet our water conservation needs, but also bring something new and exciting to town.
Well, I knew you presented it to the city commissioners, and I was kind of surprised. And I was just surprised because it's not with Hayes City Commission, but surprised with any city government that it seemed to get really good response really quick.
We did. They loved our proposal, and we were really encouraged by that. But it helped that we had really been working on building buzz prior to even going to the commission. We knew that it would be important to show, to get that feedback and to show them that, we went through every organization that we could to try to get a number, and we know that there's about 1,400 individuals with disabilities in our community. Some of them those are all the ones receiving services. So we know that there's even more who are maybe not receiving services, and who would like to be able to have a place like this to feel empowered and play independently and with their family and friends and do so safely.
Very good. Well, we're going to get into more details of this park and what the status is, and maybe more details of what you're going to have at the park in the second half of the show. You ready for it?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back after this. Time to take a break. Sarah Meitner is our guest today. She is on the board of ARC, right?
The Arc of Central Plains.
Arc of Central Plains. Yep. I want to make sure I got that right. I want to thank her for being our guest. We'll have more after this commercial from Hayes Med on the forum. Good. Boy, I blew that at the end, didn't I?
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.
Eagle Communications is your ultimate business partner. We provide business class phone with customizable features and fast, reliable internet. Your knowledgeable team at Technology Solutions has a broad base of IT services to meet your needs. Let the experts at Marketing Solutions get your message to the right people on the best platforms. The only piece missing is your business. Call Eagle Communications today at 877-61-EAGLE.
Hi everyone, this is Gerard Welbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. We record it over the noon hours, Mondays at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes, and play back at 6 o'clock Monday nights on Tiger Radio Mix 103. You can also catch it on Eagle TV's channel 14 and 614, Tuesday and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and always on HayesPost.com. So join us for Tiger Talk over the noon hour, Mondays at Old Chicago.
Welcome back to the forum. I'm Mike Kerner in for Gary Shorman this week. By the way, if you've got show ideas, Gary would love to hear from you. You can email him at gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. The forum brought to you by Hayes Med. Sarah Meitner's with us today. She is with the ARC, and you're a board member. I say with the ARC, but you're just a board member there, and you guys stay really busy. We hear a lot more about the ARC day to day, don't we?
Oh my gosh, that thrift store is bustling. I mean, and I don't know that people really know all of the money that they raise at the thrift store comes right back into the community. It funds all of the Special Olympics programs and some other really cool activities for individuals with disabilities and for the parents too. Not long ago they just had a special needs trust workshop for families who need to learn more. So they're doing good stuff over there.
Well, today you're not here for the ARC because this is a totally separate thing. You're a board member with the ARC, but it's one of those things that's kind of evolved, and we've heard about it on Hayes Post with the city commissioners, and you guys had a great presentation. I've heard from some of the city commissioners that it was well put together, but it kind of fits this park that you want to put into the Seven Hills Park. That's where you want to have it?
Yep,
and it seems to fit there because they've got the space for it, they've got the bathrooms, and I think there's also some service homes around that area as well. So it fits into that model.
It fit, that was the first step that we did, was we talked with the city about what we wanted, how large each component would be, and then where in town could it possibly go. Seven Hills was a great fit for a number of reasons. One, it's nice and centrally located. It's also pretty easily to access from I-70. We liked that. And it's due for an upgrade. So we're excited to try to take it and add some elements. We're not going to remove the existing playground or any of the basketball courts and the bathrooms and the pavilion in there. All of that will stay. We're just going to work around it. So the playground will actually be along 33rd Street. all of the components are going to be fenced in. So even though it's going to be sort of close to a street,
high-traffic street, yeah.
it'll be fenced in. We know that there's a lot of kids. This is common with autism spectrum, specifically, but definitely my son too with Down syndrome. He is a wanderer, and so we wanted to make sure that everything was fenced and safe.
So that's how it's going to happen. Where is all the money going to come from for this?
That's a good question.
Well, I'm sure that you've been asked this. Where's the money going to come from for all of this? And what kind of dollars are you looking at already for this model that you put together?
Okay. Well, the total budget is $1.6 million. It's about $550 or so for the playground, just under $500 for the splash pad, and about $450 to $475 for the baseball field. So, and we want to leave a little bit of extra in there to be invested into a fund to help pay for maintenance and replacement costs and things down the road for the park. So we're looking at a number of funding arms. We've been really busy the last several weeks getting our ducks in a row so that we can officially launch a fundraising campaign, which we'll be launching here. Look in your mailboxes. We'll have a mailing coming out soon, and that will all be coming in within the next few days. So definitely by the time viewers are watching this.
When is it that you're hoping to have this up and running?
Up and going.
Because there's sounds like there are probably going to be some phases to it.
Well, we're shooting for the moon. We don't want to be. I'm a volunteer. They have full-time jobs over at the Ark. So we're trying to knock this all out in one big swoop. So we're really trying to hit the fundraising hard between October and now and January, February, at which point we'll apply for a larger foundation to hopefully help us cross over the finish line at the end. And we'd like to, in a perfect world, if we raise all that we can, order equipment in April and have the building then could start in the middle of June, and it will take about 6 to 8 weeks. And I don't know that we'll be able to get the splash pad open by next summer, but we definitely want to get the playground open and get it open. So,
now, if people want to donate money ahead of time, they haven't seen this flyer in the mail, and they want to be to this program.
Go to our website.
Go to your website. That's where I'm going next.
Yes, so it's www.hayesark.org. And you can donate right on the website. You could certainly mail a check to the Ark of Central Plains at 600 Main Street.
And then put in the memo what it's for?
Hayes. Put that it's for the park. Our very first check that we got came from Hutchison, of all places.
Wow.
The Wichita News had done some stories about us, and you just never know who you'll touch or who you'll inspire to send something. So, this is a project that we really want the community to be proud of and to be a part of. And so, we're putting together, part of our fundraising arm is to also work with businesses or organizations that want to host events. Maybe they want to do something with their employees, like a dress down day or at some sort of a match, a swear jar or something like that. Or maybe they want to work with their customers and do like a dine out day at a restaurant or some other fundraiser type event. We really want to encourage all of those things. So right down to the Girl Scouts who maybe might do something too. I know both high schools have already indicated that their STUCOs are selecting our park as one of their charitable causes for the year and are going to make donations toward it. So we really want to get everybody involved. We already have 2 groups over the Leadership 310 class over at Fort Hays also planning. I got a text about it just a little bit ago, planning an event that will get the college kids even excited and included, even though they may not even be from Hays. It's one of those things that intrinsically it's a park. It's just such a pure, simple thing that it seems so silly that there's kids who can't currently access, a park safely in town. It seems like that should just be something that all kids should have.
And have you seen models from other communities that have put them together that look really cool?
Oh yeah, we went on a park tour and visited every park in Kansas City, I think. And really we were looking at how they looked 20, 30 years down the road. How did they age? How did the equipment age? And that was a factor in what we wanted to do. But yeah, there's one in Independence, Missouri that has all 3 components together in one complex, but there's nothing in Kansas that has all 3 components. Now there's individual components. There is a field and certainly splash pads and things in Wichita and a playground, but not all together. And we want this to be a stop, for families. families who have kids with special needs tend to travel by vehicle. It's just easier than traveling by air. And so we want to make sure that we're out there as well as a stop to, as an oasis, if you will, on I-70 for those families to stop and stretch their feet if they have a child with special needs. So we know that we're certainly have something special that we'll have, to offer, and hope that then the money will come and we'll be able to.
Well, I know that the people of Hayes have always been open to the people of special needs, and they've with Special Olympics and all that in the community, and they've been really helpful. So I think that you guys are you're in a great community for that. So thank you for coming in and talking to us, and good wishes with it. The question, the website again?
Hayes, I should say www.hayesarcpark.org. Or you can email us to hayesarcpark@gmail.com.
Very good. Thanks for coming in today.
You.
Sarah Meitner is our guest today. She's a board member with ARC. Want to thank her for coming in today to talk about the park. You'll hear a lot more about that, and you'll even see some mailings in the future. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Mike Kerner, and for Gary Shorman, this is The Forum, brought to you by Hayes Med.